Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Oren Ashman, and today we're back for an unusual video. As per our very popular request, we're going to be comparing the fake polo with the real polo and the most obvious differences in between them. So let's get right to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first big difference between the original polo and the fake polo is the size, as you can see. But the only reason that you have a difference in size in the first place is because this was a voucher package. This is not what a single bottle would typically come in. A single bottle will typically come in the same size package as this one over here. But nonetheless, we're going to use this for simplicity's sake and for the fact that I don't want to go out again to find another polo red from another store, and I'll just use whatever I have right now. I just came across both of these, which is why I'm making this video in the first place. But anyways, let's get back to the topic. So the first big difference, as we discussed, the size. The second big difference is what it says on its cover. So here it says double red, and then in fine print, inspired by Polo Red by Ralph Lauren again. And don't worry about what this says. I mean, everyone says that. So you see how that said inspired by? That means that it's not originally produced by that company. It's just something that's being derived from that, or that this company got their inspiration from this original brand. But this brand has nothing to do with Ralph Lauren polo. Well, on an actual polo cologne, you have something very important. First is what's written over here. Every polo perfume has polo written on it, or a polo cologne, if you will. Polo written on it, and as you can see, Polo Red, and then very clearly Ralph Lauren. Now, then the other thing is the cartoon that you see over here. The cartoon over here, you can see it does not look like a polo. If you've ever seen a polo t-shirt before, which you probably have, or if you use polo cologne, you will know that this is not the polo cartoon. The original polo cartoon is this guy over here. You can see he's carrying a croquette stick, and over here he's carrying something else, maybe a sword. The horses are not even going the same direction. I mean, come on guys. I mean, of course they're not going the same direction. Just look at that. Just look at that. And this is a 3D effect that's completely in 2 dimensions, but whatever. Regardless, this is how the exteriors look like in between these two, the fake one and the original one over here. Now, one other thing about the fake one, the reason they don't get sued for copyright or for using like a similar font to this is because what's written in the back. It says double red. I'm not sure if you can read this. It says double red is not associated with the makers of Polo Red Ralph Lauren. So they very clearly state on their packaging that they have nothing to do with the actual company. However, it's all in fine print. So if you were to walk into a store and if you were to see this for $8, why would you resist buying that? But just to avoid further disappointment, these are some things that you can look at. Now, next we'll move into the interiors. So after they have been unboxed respectfully, this is what they look like. This is the original Ralph Lauren red polo versus the fake, the double red by whatever company. So again, you can see the cartoon over here. They look nothing like each other except for the color. That's it. And of course, there's a man and there's a horse. That's it. Those are the only similarities that they have. Everything else about them is different. But if that wasn't obvious enough, let's talk about some things that we clearly see from these bottles. Now, you may say that, okay, these are obviously of different sizes, so of course, and they're of different bottles, bottle shapes as well, so they must clearly, like, that's how you know that they're different. But actually, that's not true, because this in its standard packaging is the exact same size as this double red over here. So that's one thing that you cannot use, depending on what package you actually buy. But the next thing is, here it has a matte finish to it. The actual original polo has a matte finish to its cap over here, whilst over here it has a very shiny finish to it. It's because of the fact that this matte finish is a result of the coating of painting that's put on top of the metal cap versus the plastic cap. Now, other than that, we can look at something else, and that is the color difference in between these two. You can see that this one over here is a dark red, clear red over here. Here, this looks more, a little more orange, if you will, a much lighter shade. And I mean, of course, right off the bat, you can't always tell exactly whether or not this is the original one by this, but if you, like here, you can see clearly that these are not of the same shade, even though they're very similar to each other. And then the other thing that you can definitely notice is what's written on the bottom. An actual Ralph Lauren polo will never have just 2 serial numbers here. That will just never happen. And the next thing is, you see the packaging over here, the cover. I'm not sure if you guys see it properly, but the cover over here, it's not centered at all. Whilst if we were to look at the original one, and let's look at the bottom, the cover is completely centered. There is no distortion over there. And of course the serial code and the serial number is not just 2 numbers. It's obviously more than 2 numbers here. And I mean, those are some big differences in between them. And of course, will they smell the same? Obviously not. But to what extent? Well, we'll find that out on the next video, so stay tuned, guys. Thank you for tuning in for this one, and I'll see you next time.